YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today guys, we did a live stream on the new selection pack, The Blessings of Nature. The pack was pretty expensive, I would say. It was really hard to pull the necessary tier elements cards that we really need for a deck. And I have used up all 12,000 gems just to pull out like only a handful of tier element cards from this selection pack, because mostly what we got was the useless ones. Let's talk about the selection pack. Selection pack is composed of 3 major archetypes: the Amazonas, the tier elements, and the Vernus Silk monsters. With regards to the tier elements, it was really hard to pull these cards out. Even so, with the first 6,000 gems that I actually wasted on the selection pack, I only got like only 2 or 3 copies of the tier elements by far, and even using up all of the 12,000 gems, I only got like a small fraction of the tier elements cards that is going to be used for the deck. And there's a picture right here, or the video right here, that I've actually pulled after the whole 12,000 gems. But anyways, like I said earlier, people, as what I've researched on, are using 1 copy of Kaleido Heart, but we got 2 copies of this. 1 copy of WILL, we got 2 copies of this. The Sherin, we didn't get any copies out of all the 12,000 gems. 1 copy of Heart was actually pulled out of 12,000 gems, and we need 3 copies of this by far. 1 Pillarino, because it was pre-banned or limited to 1. Scream, people are using 2 or 3 copies depending on what deck they're using, but as what I made for my deck earlier, it was 3 copies of Scream, so we only got 1 copy of Scream, and that was on the last 20 packs that I've actually pulled. But luckily we have the Kit Kalos to SR, and I was thinking, oh, really generous for Konami to putting Kit Kalos on SR, and I was like, no, it wasn't. It was pre-banned to 1 copy only, so that's why they're putting this on SR. If ever you pull this on a UR and you got more copies of Kit Kalos, you can just dismantle it and have an additional like 10 UR shard. But Konami doesn't want that. They want you to buy more gems and then buy more packs for you to like waste it upon on Amazonas Augusta. But even so, yeah, I got 7 or 6 copies of Augusta during that pull for 12,000. Princess was 3 copies, and I think 1 copy of Danspion, whatever that card is. Yeah, like I said, it's really hard to pull the tier elements cards, and by far 12,000 gems won't get you like the tier elements that you'll really need. And let's check out the deck first, and why I think this is the most expensive competitive deck there is in Master Duel. So this is the deck that I've actually made. Well, let's remove the tier elements first anyways, just to give you an insight on how expensive this deck really is. Let's see, remove the Perlino, remove the Scream, remove that, although that's really not a problem. But yeah, remove this, remove that, remove this. So that is what the deck looks like without the tier elements at the moment. So we have the Diviner on a UR, not to mention the hand traps that you'll need, or just hand trap that you'll need. The Shizu cards, you have the Kelbeck and the Keldo on UR copies, SR for Medora and Guido. Some useful Foolish Burial and Foolish Burial goods, SR and URs, Terraforming and Instant Fusion onto 1 copy, and even so, it's a UR card. Triple Tactics Talent are really good 2 offs or 3 offs depending on your choice, but I prefer running on 2 copy. 1 copy of Gravekeeper's Trap, which is also a UR card. Extra deck, most of them are SR and URs. There are no normals or rares in this build for your extra deck, and that is because it is really expensive of a deck. Not to mention, Redoer can only be used in this deck, which I think there's no other deck that you can use it on unless you're working with a Time Thief deck. The Shaddolls possibly can be used in a Shaddol deck, but yeah, like it can be used in this deck. And this is my version of the Tier Elements Ishizu deck. Tier Elements, if ever we're gonna add it. So Tier Elements, we have the Rhino Heart on 3 copies, but we only got 1 copy of this a while ago. The Havness and the Merly was really good since they are only normal in rarity, so we need to max that out. What else? The other traps and other spells are not really relevant at the moment. But yes, Scream was only 1 copy. The Pillarino, we got that 1 copy as well. The 1-offs for the Kaleido Heart and then the Chaos a while ago. Well, but we got 2 copies of this during our polls. Kit Kalos was actually 4 or 5 copies I got from the pack, but we're just running with 1 copy because it's limited to 1. Now that was what the deck looks like. Now let's try to add the cards needed. So 3 copies of the Rhino Heart, 3 copies of Scream, of course, because it's needed, and then 2 copies of Scarin. That is what we have. And lastly, since the trap cards was actually generous enough to be normal in rarity, it was really good. So that is, where's the Meta Noise? Meta Noise on 2 copies. So that is basically your deck right there for a Tear Elements deck, or the basic Tear Elements Ishizu deck. So only a slim number of cards, or only a handful of cards that are normal in rarity and no rare in rarity. So that is very expensive for a competitive deck. And I think at the moment on, after pulling those cards and making the deck, I dealt with a ton of mirrored games with some other Tear Elements. So it was really boring because the one turn was actually like forever to make a good play. But anyways, if you're really into the whole Tear Elements, you really want to be competitive, I would advise just pulling or crafting those Tear Element cards for your deck if you already have the necessary cards, because if you're just wasting your gems under the selection pack, then it's not going to be that useful anyway. I mean, it's not going to be the go-to way on attaining the Tear Elements cards. So yeah, it's up to you. If you have a ton of resources, go for it. Buy some selection packs. If not, when you have a limited number of crystals that you want to use, then by far just craft your way towards your Tear Elements cards, or Tear Elements monsters. So I think that's basically it. Really expensive deck. Let's see in a few days how this thing goes. And yeah, let's be signing off. Keep safe, good luck guys, and have a good day. Let's see the deck profile in a couple of days, or maybe later on. Bye bye.